Alright everyone, here we are today. We're going to learn how to edit event procedures so they can handle multiple events, and that's a way that we can really reduce a lot of code redundancy in our programs. Up till now, if we had a menu item that was doing the same thing as some button on the form, that could have created a situation where we've got to copy and paste a lot of code around, and whenever we do that, we get the chance for there being errors in that code and then, or little bugs, and makes it harder to find them. So we're going to learn that we can actually have these event handlers handle multiple events from objects and thereby reduce a lot of the code that we have. I just got a little program here that is a sandwich order form. So the user picks the size of a sandwich, their toppings, they click the place order button, and it tells them how much it is. Okay. Also on here I put in an exit menu item, and just for the sake of providing a really simple example to this, I also placed this exit button in here. We usually wouldn't have an exit button because we got the red X up there, but just to show you this real quickly once first, I put both of those in there. So if I wanted this program to exit, I could certainly go in here and make a private sub procedure for menu exit, right? And all I got to do inside of here is say end, or application exit is really a better practice, so I'll put that in there, right? Now, normally what we've been doing is we would add, btn exit, click event, and we'd be putting the same thing in there, right? But we don't have to do that. We can eliminate this one because they're both doing the same thing, and we'll show how to do that here. We've got this private sub procedure here. It's annotated by starting out private sub, and then executes the stuff that's in here, and end sub says this sub procedure's over. This next little part here, menu exit click, is just a name for it. Really doesn't change how it works or anything. You might have noticed in the past when you made an event for an object by accident before you fixed the name, you'd have this wrong name there. It still worked, but it's just kind of annoying because the name wasn't correct in there. And so now we could call this exit events, because that's what it's going to do. The next thing that comes next here in the parentheses is just a couple of parameters that are sent to this sub procedure. The first one is the sender, or the object that is causing this event to happen. Okay, so really menu exit, it would be identified as the sender of this. E as system event args is just, let me undo that, didn't mean to move stuff around here. This is just accessing the properties of the sender. So whatever menu item, button event, or whatever is sent this information, those properties of that are in here. Don't really have to worry about this a lot yet. We aren't going to get into those too much yet. But then the handles keyword here is important because it says what objects and events are being handled by this sub procedure. And right now, menu exit click event is being handled by it. And I can add to that by just typing a comma here and picking btn exit and put a period, and I want it to be a click event. And that's all I got to do. I've renamed it so it makes sense to what this does. I've put the two objects that it's handling in there, and it couldn't be any more simple than that. Now when I run this, I can click the exit button and it exits, or I can go up here to the file menu, pick exit, and exit. Okay, so as you can imagine, this simple example, there was just one little bit of code in there, but sometimes we have a lot of statements of code inside of these events, and being able to eliminate that redundancy is very nice. Let's go, like I said, I don't want this exit button in here anyway, so I'm going to get rid of it. And another nice thing is when I get rid of an object, notice that my exit events handler, it deleted that because that object's not in there anymore. Okay, so one other thing, I'd like to make another change to this program that would make it a little bit better. Right now, when the user clicks in here and they pick a size of a sandwich and they click what toppings they want, they say place order, the price shows up. But one problem with the interface is, let's say they go in here and change some stuff. If they don't click the button again, the price looks the same. So that could be confusing to them if they get distracted in between clicking there, and they might misidentify the price. So what I would like this program to do is just show the price every time one of these check boxes or radio buttons is changed up here. Okay, and if how we have previously been dealing with stuff, that would mean a lot of code would have to happen. There have to be a check change event for every one of these, and all the code to do everything would be in every one of those. But with what we've learned now, we don't have to do it that way. So I've got this button place order event. What I would like to replace that with here is just we'll pick check cheese first, and a check change event for check cheese. And right now, we can change this to order toppings. Okay, this maybe could come up with a better name, but that's what I come up with at the top of my head right now. Instead of just the cheese checkbox, though, we want all of these different checkboxes to be able to fire this event. Don't want a comma. So I'm just running down my list real quickly and making check changed events for them. Okay, and so now all of these will basically make that change. As a matter of fact, I actually should in here too get my radio buttons in here as well, right? Because those could change the price as well. So we can have all of these. Fire this event. Now really, what needs to happen inside of here is just really everything that was happening in this event that was the button place order. So I'm going to cut that out of there. We're going to put it into here. And actually we don't need button place order anymore. Thank you. You served us well, but you weren't really doing that good a job. We'll get rid of the button here. We're going to leave. We'd probably want to move some labels around, but let's see how this works. So a small sandwich, $2.25. Notice it came up with that right away. As I check these, the price changes automatically for what I would want in there. So that's a much better way for this program to work. I'd probably center my labels in there, but it was pretty easy to do, and I really just had one event handler now that handles all those checkboxes. This would have, this is a little bit of a chunk of code here. If I would have had to copy and paste that for each one of those check change events, it would have been a lot of code that would have had the possibility of some errors getting built into it. Now they're all just in one event, makes it a lot better. So we'll want to utilize that in our programs now.